Hi there, I'm Tigran Nazaryan, co-founder and CEO at TenWeb. Today we'll have live conversation with you. We asked from our community to give us some questions they are interested in, questions about WordPress, web development trends, perhaps automation or tools you want to use in your stack, in your business, or use for building websites for yourselves. I provided answers to these questions, and you can also ask simultaneously questions in chat, and our team members, not me, I cannot multitask, our team members will be happy to provide answers to these questions. Feel free to subscribe to our channel for more videos. So first, let me tell you about my experience with WordPress. I started building WordPress plugins 7 years ago, 2014. Then I led a team of WordPress developers. We built several plugins and themes. And later I led a team which built AI Builder, the solution which enables every person to create any website, to recreate any website with WordPress instantaneously in a couple of minutes. We had web engineers there and web machine learning engineers there. In 2017, we founded TenWeb with 4 co-founders. What is TenWeb? This is Automated WordPress Platform, which provides 3 main solutions to pain points which any web developer and particularly WordPress developer may have. Automated hosting on top of Google Cloud, automated experience of site building with AI, and automated page speed optimization. We combined your questions into 3 categories: trends, tools, and automation. So first question from trends category. Why should I choose WordPress? There are cooler and more trendy website builders existing now. There is a big stereotype with WordPress. A lot of people think that WordPress is not cool because it's old and it's not trendy. But it is cooler than ever, and it's cooler than any other solution existing in the world. Why? How can I prove that? WordPress powers 40% of all websites in the world, and this percentage is growing, not declining. So why WordPress is really good solution? Because it's powerful, it's flexible, it's customizable, it's open source, and you can build basically any type of website with WordPress. Of course, I totally agree that it's not so as easy as Wix, for example, but it's still cool. And on the other hand, WordPress is not a commercial project, but it is powered by community. That's why you won't hear any catchy headlines like WordPress raised $200 million from Silicon Valley investors. No, this is community. But this is what makes WordPress really powerful. Next question. Isn't the WordPress technology stack outdated? No, it's not outdated. WordPress is built with PHP, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and it can be installed on web servers, Apache and Nginx or Microsoft servers. So these technologies are really popular and they are fast and they are not outdated. They are actively maintained, they are actively developed, and new updates are coming every year. But if you are not careful, you can make your website outdated. You need to make sure that your hosting has the latest version of PHP and your plugins also are up to date. And this is a very important question, not only from security's perspective, because the old versions may have some vulnerabilities not patched, but also about performance, because the latest version, let's say, of PHP, it's several times faster than, latest version is 8.0, it's several times faster than 5.6 version. So in this way you ensure not only good security, but also good performance of your website by keeping all the stuff up to date. Are there no-code solutions for WordPress? I don't want to learn coding. The short answer is not yet. However, WordPress is getting closer to it. But note that when WordPress was created, it was 13-14 years ago, there was no such a concept of no code, or at least it was not popular. So WordPress is older than no code, and the goal of WordPress is to help people to not code every website in a custom way, but use some framework. And plugins and themes and templates help to code less. On top of that, a category of plugins called site builders, they help to code even lesser by enabling drag and drop and widget based experience. On the other hand, there is no complete no-code solution, because anyway you need to have some custom coding. Even when building with plugins, usually you need to add some JavaScript or custom styling, or know at least some HTML. But as I already said, WordPress is getting closer to it. At TemWeb, our vision is that we need to help people to have as smooth and as low-code experience with WordPress as possible. That's why we created Automated Platform. Our goal is to help millions of people to code less and to work with WordPress in easier way. What does mobile first mean for WordPress developers? What is mobile first? It's when design is made first for mobile device with basic features and functionality, and then an extended version is created for tablet and desktop. Note that mobile first, it's not the same as responsive. Responsive, it means just that your website should look well when visitors browse with mobile device. Mobile first is responsive, but not all responsive websites are mobile first. Unfortunately, WordPress is not mobile first, in the sense that you can't, neither for site owners nor for web developers. You cannot, you can basically, but it's not very good experience. You cannot edit WordPress and go to WordPress dashboard with mobile device and have good user experience there. But you can make WordPress website responsive. How? By choosing right theme and right template which is responsive, and each page is responsive. Second, when building with page builder plugin, let's say, you can preview with in mobile mode to see that, to make sure that the web page looks well when you browse with mobile device. Then you need to make sure the resources are optimized, images are optimized, caching is working okay. You can enable AMP plugin. I would ask Ben to share link to AMP plugin with explanations what is it. And you need, of course, to make sure that you need mobile first, of course. For example, whether your visitors are more visiting with mobile devices or desktop devices. Will we be able to generate websites from scratch using AI? I believe yes, and we are pretty close to that. People right now can generate images with AI, with neural networks. They can generate faces of people which never existed. Algorithms can also generate texts like articles or essays in such good quality that human cannot tell the difference whether this is artificially generated article or written by human. So I think we are close to that stage that we can generate whole websites with AI. Imagine how good it will be if you can say, I want to have website with contact page, a couple of landing pages, and some portfolio page, and it will be bluish colors or some other features to contain. So I think that we will be able to do so very soon. Will AI take jobs of web developers? I think no, but AI can be a really useful tool, or it's not a single tool, but AI can create really useful tools for web developers to automate their work. So when AI is good, when you need to do certain actions which are repetitive or which are routine and time-consuming, it's better to automate it with AI. Or when you have some processes which require big data, Again, you can automate such type of processes and actions using AI. So AI is really very useful, and we think it can complement web developers and add more, make their experience more easy. For example, with TemWeb, we thought which part of web development is the most time-consuming and boring. We thought that it's a drag and dropping and customizing widgets and creating layout. So we automated that part. And I think that AI will never replace web developers, but it will be really useful for them. In the second section of questions, I'll talk about tools. So, which tools we need for creating websites, which one is better, or what principles or what features to take into account when you want to choose something. First question: how is creating a site on WordPress.org is different from WordPress.com? Let me tell you a secret. You cannot create a website on WordPress.org. When saying WordPress.org, people usually mean self-hosted website, like the WordPress installation. The one you download from WordPress.org and you install on your hosting. And WordPress.com provides hosting with WordPress. But these two are not the only solutions. There are also other hostings which have by default WordPress setup, so it comes automatically there. So back to the difference. What's the difference between self-hosted WordPress and WordPress.com? With self-hosted WordPress, you choose hosting. You are free to choose any plugin you want, any theme you want, or do some customizations you need. With WordPress.com, you are not free to do all this stuff, and it depends on subscription plans you choose. For cheaper subscription plans, you are very limited. You cannot install any plugin you want. You are very limited to just few plugins, Jetpack and some other plugins, and you are limited with your choice of themes. So to choose between WordPress.com and self-hosted WordPress, you need to consider which requirements are for your website, what functionality you need, what types of plugins you will need. Are there any premium plugins or only WordPress.org repository plugins, or general website needs? And then you need to choose the correct solution, also taking into account price and support, which also adds some cost on top of it. Next question: why is WordPress.com considered more secure than WordPress.org? It's not necessarily so. WordPress.com limits as I already said, WordPress.com, it limits the choice of plugins and themes, so automatically it adds more security by just limiting them. But any type of hosting can be very secure. Depends on what security measures they take, whether they auto-update WordPress or whether they have some solution to keep plugins up to date, or in case there is a plugin which has some discovered vulnerability, whether the hosting blocks that plugin, quarantines that, or what does with that plugin. So basically you can have also very secure WordPress, self-hosted, or you can have WordPress which is not secure and which is outdated. It depends on your hosting and your setup. With TemWeb, we automatically scan websites. We automatically also check whether there is a plugin which has vulnerability or some kind of security problem there, and we disable that plugins. Can I use any plugin or theme with TemWeb? Yes, you can, but with some exceptions. Why? We have basically a list of not recommended plugins, so I would like us to share that list. Why we do not recommend certain plugins? Most reasons are either security or performance. For example, if there is a backup plugin which duplicates entries in WordPress database, we don't allow such plugin because we already have backup solution and we don't run backup on top of backup. Or, for example, other type of plugins, those which are not coded well and they have too many queries to WordPress database, thus slowing the website. Or vulnerable plugins, we just disable them. If I use ThemeWeb, will my client's information be secure and how? Yes, it will be. Why? Because we provide a whole set of solutions to make sure we provide the best secure environment for our client websites. And this is a continuous process, and we always try to improve to find out what's lacking there and do more and more. We'll share very soon the whole list of features and measures we do in our public security statement. Just a few ideas of what we do. We scan client websites to make sure there is no unauthorized change and no files appear there like scripts, some strange scripts, or nothing was hacked. We also check plugins against the vulnerability database to make sure there is no compromised plugin there. We also harden our hosting configuration to be sure that there is no backdoor or any way to penetrate there. And we also check for incoming traffic and load of websites to be sure there is nothing strange happening there, and we have monitoring and alerting system which prevents different types of strange things. Regarding privacy, I would refer you to check privacy policy to see what we do to offer you the best privacy. And I would like to tell that we don't sell any customer data to any third party. How does your platform differ from other WordPress hostings? And one more question, I'll answer them together. Which WordPress hosting is the best? There are several types of WordPress hostings: shared hosting, VPS or virtual private server, dedicated hosting, managed hosting, and automated hosting. Let me explain their difference, and you will choose yourself which is the best and why. Shared hosting, it's cheap hosting, it's good, but in shared hosting your website shares resources with other websites with possible performance issues and security issues. But shared hosting is very popular because of its cheap price, and most of websites are on shared hosting. Second type of hosting, it's VPS, and similar to that is dedicated server. This type is better, it's more expensive, but you need to configure everything yourself. So it makes some additional costs. It's good for big websites, but it adds some complexity. So if you are not skilled, if you do not have big experience with WordPress or web server setup, I wouldn't recommend that to do yourself. Third hosting option is managed hosting. It's type of hosting when there is good customizations, good configurations, and a lot of thing is well maintained and easy to set up and to maintain. This type of hostings are Kinsta or WP Engine, and they are much better than the previous categories. And with ThemeWeb, we introduced automated hosting. So how it differs from managed hosting? It is like managed hosting, but with more automations. So we don't have a complex setup and complex configuration options. We automated all this stuff. For example, if you want to migrate website to ThemeWeb, you just do it with one click. No need to copy paste web files to bulk replace or to run some SQL queries. Or we also provide AI Builder, which helps to create websites from scratch. We also provide automatic page speed optimization. So all this stuff makes experience automated, and more than custom, it's automated, so you don't need to worry about anything. What is the best page builder for WordPress? I'll not say which one is the best, you will choose yourself, but the most popular is Elementor and WP Bakery Page Builder. So these two are the most popular ones, and there are several others which are quite popular as well, like Divi Builder, Beaver Builder, or Oxygen or SiteGround Builder. They have some common features like widgets, drag and drop, and ability to customize website with front-end builder, that is the same in the same page which you see as a final result. These are common features. They usually have some common pricing types like per website, or some special pricing with unlimited number of websites, or very big number of websites for agencies who regularly create websites for their customers. Some of them are also kind of built with premium themes. For example, when choosing premium theme, you buy a theme, but you also buy a premium page builder solution with that. When choosing them, I will recommend to take into account several features of them. First, which type of widgets it requires. Whether you need all the necessary widgets, or you need to purchase additional widgets, some from third-party providers or some add-ons, and they may sometimes not work well with each other. Other features are like how easy its user experience and user interfaces are, whether you are okay and comfortable with that. Whether there is a systematic way to change styles and fonts and other parameters from one place and not do it per every widget and per every web page. And also take into account that you need to have a good solution for editing not only the content part of web page, but also headers, footers, and if you want to have complete site building experience, perhaps you will need even some templates to use as a basis to create your own web pages. At TemWeb, we chose Elementor, and we also added some premium features on top of Elementor, and we created TemWeb Builder in this way. What is the best or fastest WordPress theme to work with Elementor? There is actually no simple answer to that question. A few months ago, we checked how different themes work, which of them is faster, and I've shared that post to the chat. But the answer is not simple, because a lot of things depends not only on theme, but other components like plugins, caching, hosting, CDN, and others. For example, how it works. Theme may be not coded well. If the theme has too many JavaScripts and styles, and it loads a lot of resources in a single page, its web page performance and page speed score is low. If it has some unnecessary scripts and styles attached, it is also not good experience. And on the other hand, a lot of things depend on the hosting environment, whether there is a CDN setup, whether there is a caching solution setup, and what type of plugins are used along with theme. So I would say there are two main approaches. I will prefer having blank theme and builder plugin plus some necessary other plugins to keep everything simple. An alternative could be to use any simple theme with some several plugins if you want to have like simple blog or small website. And I don't think the other option, when you have a premium theme which has a lot of stuff packed there, most of them you don't need, I don't think that's a good solution from a performance perspective. So I would like to keep everything simple to have better optimization and simpler experience. How is TemWeb Builder different from Elementor? So this question is about not AI, but TemWeb Builder plugin. What is TemWeb Builder plugin? It is basically an extension or add-on on top of Elementor free version. In that sense, it is similar to Elementor Pro version or other premium plugins like essential add-ons for Elementor. So how it works? It adds some premium features on top of free features, free Elementor features. For example, premium widgets like slider, like gallery or call to action, or type of custom carousels, custom styling, animations, and it also adds full site customization possibility when you customize not only page content but also headers, footers, etc. So in this sense, TenWeb Builder, it requires Elementor free version, but if you have TenWeb Builder, you don't need Elementor Pro version. How can I keep myself up to date with WordPress and technologies? That's a great question, and this is what we all continuously do at TenWeb. We want to be up to date and we want to use the best technologies, the newest technologies at TenWeb. So what would I recommend? Subscribe to blogs, subscribe to WordPress-related blogs, to WordPress Tavern, to make.wordpress.org, when you will see how WordPress is being developed, what are the next version features, and what's forthcoming. Subscribe to TenWeb blog. We publish regular content for developers and agencies. Also try to go beyond the WordPress stack, beyond jQuery, for example. Try to learn React, Angular. Perhaps you'll figure out a way to develop websites with WordPress, with headless WordPress and React or Angular.js on front end, or you make use of WordPress debugging tools. Learn how can you use WordPress in different types of websites, perhaps making use of it as headless CMS, and try new technologies with WordPress. Don't stay with the same PHP version. Learn new features of PHP, how PHP 8, for example, differs from the previous versions. Learn JavaScript 6 and all these new versions and new style of coding, and this way you will always be up to date. In what cases can I use AI Builder from TenWeb? First, let me explain what AI Builder is. It's a solution which helps you to create any website, recreate any website with WordPress by just copy-pasting a URL of another desired website, and as a result you get responsive, customizable and optimized website hosted on TenWeb in just a couple of minutes. So this is what AI is. And how can you use that? We figure out several ways of use, but of course you can have your own use cases. You can use it to create templates and to create prototypes for your customers very easy in a couple of minutes. For example, if you need a lot of versions of the landing page, you can create them and present to your customer and say to choose the right one or to choose the one they like. So in this way you save a lot of time and money by creating templates very fast. Another thing that by having AI Builder, you basically don't limit yourself to the available templates, which are sometimes look pretty standard or similar to each other. So we don't want to end up with creating websites which look like any other websites or be like the same. So in this way, basically with AI Builder, we can make any website in the world as a basis template for our websites or for our customers' websites. And one more important use case of AI Builder. Imagine you have a Wix website and you are logged in basically there. You cannot export website from Wix. Or imagine you have a coded website in some custom way and many years ago, and you have that burden of keeping that or maintaining that, and now you want to move to WordPress. So in such cases, mostly moving to WordPress, it means that coding from scratch. But with AI Builder, you just can copy paste the URL and have the resulting website built with WordPress with TenWeb Builder. So what we get, we can convert Wix website or Webflow website or another site builder website to WordPress with just a single step. How much knowledge one should have in coding to create a website with TenWeb? The answer is that not much. You basically need to be able to add some custom styles and JavaScripts, a couple of lines of JavaScripts if needed. So with AI Builder, you have completely ready website and you need just to add some tuning and fine tuning and customize the resulting website. And with TenWeb as automated WordPress platform, you no need to learn Linux or web servers or PHP to create good websites. Is it true that Temweb hosting gives 90 plus page speed? And is this done automatically or does the team do it manually? That's a great question. In most cases, or almost all cases, it's automatical. So 90 plus automatically you get. But in some cases, when it's too complicated or some custom website, we perhaps may not achieve 90 plus page speed score automatically. So we end up with, let's say, 85 or 80. And in some cases, our developers may provide better configuration than the default algorithm provides. In this way, we can achieve 90 plus page speed score. And with Temweb page speed solution, it is not single algorithm, not single solution, but a whole bunch of algorithm solutions: hosting side, plugin side, image optimization, caching, and a lot of other stuff, which are explained in our page speed page. And for caching, I will refer you to check a good article by Vanush, our architect, about different type of caching solutions we implement at Temweb. So check this and basically don't care about this, everything works, and even in some cases, in minor cases, if it doesn't work so smoothly, we will continuously improve that. And the last question, what technologies and solutions do you use internally? I think this question is really good and interesting for web agencies. We have an excellent article by Arax, our marketing director. It's called Workflow Automation for Agency. You can check that. And I also tell what type of technologies we use, not about infrastructure, but tools we use when coding and when doing our tasks. We use internally Jira as project management tool. We use Zendesk for our help. We use Slack for internal communication. We use GitLab for as a repository for CI/CD integrations, and we also use a lot of tools which automate the process, like static code checkers, dependency checkers, and a lot of other stuff. This was the last question. Thank you very much for your time and attention. This was our first live, and we will do more. So stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and have a great day.